So well friends, here in this class today, we are to discuss about the necessary conditions for hypothesis formulation. Research, as you know, is a very systematic and scientific as well as technical academic process where particularly when the researchers are to follow use the quantitative research methodology are to formulate hypotheses without which they cannot go to the final stage, means to the finding stage of their research. In the last class, we discussed about research without hypotheses. Means those researchers who basically follow qualitative research methodology, they need not to formulate hypotheses. But the researchers who are to depend on quantitative research methodology for the collection, analysis and interpretation of research data, they are to formulate hypotheses or hypotheses. And here in this class you will get the information concerning to the means and the mechanisms which are to be followed for the construction of necessary hypotheses according to the spatial characteristic or spatial features of your research problem. What are to be done, friends? To formulate hypotheses, the researchers, means you, should be well acquainted with the pros and cons of a particular problem. Means your knowledge, your idea, your perception concerning to your research problem should be quite clear. Hypotheses are well thought, systematically worded on verifiable propositions or guesses suggested as solution to a problem. Means by formulating the hypothesis or hypotheses, the researchers basically come to know or they go to know about the solution of their own problems. And that's why these are well thought, systematically worded, means worded as per the requirement of research or necessity of research, and verifiable propositions or suppositions which basically help the researchers know about the solution of their problems. Let us go to the next slide. Such propositions or assumptions are framed with the help of systematically gathered knowledge of a specific problem for which every researcher who basically follow quantitative research methodology are to study existing or the available research literature so much well. Means the review of the recent literatures of own area of the researcher is very much important for understanding of a clear concept concerning to the selection process of a particular subject of research, for framing the hypotheses and for shortlisting the objectives. But once the researcher follows the qualitative research methodology, they are to, or he or she is to study literature, means the available research literature for the clarification of his or her concept. But he or she needing to study such literature for the formulation of the hypothesis, because in qualitative research methodology, once you follow, there is no question of framing the hypothesis. The conditions which generally contribute to the formulation of hypotheses are, friends, these are the conditions. See, richness of background knowledge means your knowledge, your idea, your concept concerning to your own, you see, subject area has spatial significance at the time of framing the hypothesis or hypotheses. Next one is versatility or resourcefulness. Versatility means resourcefulness of intellect, and analogy means likeness and other practices. Richness of background knowledge is number one. Versatility means resourcefulness, clear concept, or high intellectual caliber, and analogy means likeness and other practices. These are very much important at the time of framing hypotheses. Let us see the next slide. Richness of background knowledge generally, what does it mean? Let us see. Means the researcher's thorough knowledge of all the aspects of that problem which he or she selects, which is undertaken for study by him or her. The researcher should know in details the problem that is undertaken for study. Means your conception, your, you see, idea concerning to the problem and the solution, means the final stage where you will go, how you will reach your research destination. These are to be very much clear. Friends, as for example, you are to go to Delhi. Suppose, let us take an example, give an example. So, if you go by train, what will happen? You know so much well. If you go by bus, what will happen? You know so much well. If you go by flight, what will happen? You know so much well. Means your idea relating to the journey is so very clear. What will happen if you travel by train, if you travel by bus, or if you travel by air? You know so much well. In research also, your academic idea, you see, your academic perceptions become clear at the time of selecting the research problem, because at the time of selecting the problem you will know so much well, or you are to know so much well what will be the solution of your problem, and what processes you are to follow, what methodology you are to follow, and how you are to collect the data, where you will get information, means the literature where you will get all these things. You know so much well, or it is to be known. Let us see the next one. The researcher is to know beforehand the solutions of the problem undertaken for study with the help of his intellectuality and experience, or proper knowledge or thorough study. Hypotheses are formulated simply to assess the authenticity or genuineness or accuracy of knowledge that is found out in the forms of research findings. Means we have to see the authenticity or the resourcefulness, authenticity or genuineness or accuracy of knowledge. It is already there, but its, you see, acceptability or utility is to be determined with the help of the process of research, and something new is to be added there. Therefore, richness of background knowledge has special importance in hypothesis formulation, and it depends on your intellectual potentiality, and that's why for doing research, you see, thorough study has special importance or significance. Let us see the next one. Next point, you see, versatility or resourcefulness of intellect is another condition which has special significance in the process of hypothesis formulation, which has already been indicated. And the term versatility has been originated from the Latin term versatilis. Versatilis. Let us see the next slide. Versatile means able to adapt or be adapted to many different functions of activities. On the other hand, the term intellect means the power of reasoning and understanding objectively. You see, you are subjective, but in research, the subjective ideas are to be generalized objectively so that general acceptability is being established. This is the significant point of research. Nothing should be subjective, but as a researcher, you are a subject. But your knowledge, subjectivity, by avoiding subjectivity or depending on your intellectuality as a subject, you are to generalize the knowledge so that you can establish general acceptability. Means you are to make or you are to prove the authenticity of knowledge objectively. Let us see the next slide. Does this way versatility of intellect means able to adapt the power of reasoning and understanding objectively to many different activities. For the formulation of hypotheses, the researcher is to develop an insight into the whole problem, and he should partially know the future solution of the problem undertaken for study well ahead. Let us see the next slide. And analogy and other practices are the important conditions of hypothesis formulation. Analogy means a way of explaining something by comparing into something else. It also means a partial similarity, not total similarity. Human learning, friends, in most of the cases proceeds from known to the unknown point. We know little, and from that we try to know much. Let us see the next one. We begin at the known point, we start at the known point and proceed towards the unknown point. In research also, the researcher can apply his or her knowledge of relevant areas for the solution of similar problem which he or she selects as his or her research problem. Comparison or comparative analysis helps to find out solutions of many problems for which there is the necessity of making comparison for, you see, objective generalization of subjective understanding. Let us see the next one. Human learning, as you know so much well, friends, generally depends on past experiences and training. The simple known point leads the human being towards the complex unknown point of knowledge. Thus, analogy and other practices or experiences have been treated as important conditions of hypothesis formulations. And in the field of research, once the researcher follows quantitative research methodology, this is one of the necessary preconditions. And for becoming successful in framing hypotheses without any doubt or in correct way, the researcher is to study the available literature so much well and make his understanding very clear so that he or she doesn't face any problem or much problems during the time of framing the hypotheses. And these are the specific points or considerations or specific aspects which are to be well considered at the time of formulating or formation of or framing hypotheses. Once the researcher is followed quantitative research methodology for objective generalizations of his subjective intellectual power and capabilities. Thank you so much, friends. You see so much well, and you try to understand the contents so that you can successfully complete your research and you can write in the examination in proper way. Thank you so much.